What's going on, guys? We are back with another video. Today we're back in my office. Got the beanie on today, so you know what that means. If we're inside in a beanie, it means it's a bad hair day, but we're gonna do another editing tutorial. So today we're actually going to be editing this Mustang shot that I took right here. You saw on the vlog with the Senna and the Aventador SV, and we're going to edit the shot that we got with the Cessna flying in. This photo got such good response on social media, and it's one of my favorite I've ever taken, so I thought, why not show you how I edited and got it from looking like this to looking like this. And I got so much compliments on the color grading and stuff, and I'm like, why not? I want to show you how I edited this photo. So let's hop on to Lightroom right here and let's get editing. Alright, so we have Lightroom pulled up, and you can see this photo is a pretty dull, dark photo. It's just not very interesting how this is. Like, the Cessna's cool, but just you can't really see anything. And so, like, obviously we want to get our exposures figured out. So let's just go up about like one whole stop of exposure, and already that lightens up the picture a ton, makes the snow a lot brighter. It just looks really good. For me, really like my photos to be just like super contrasty, so let's pop it up to like, yeah, right there's cool, because then like you have a huge separation of the whites and the darks, and this is when we brighten up the car, it's just going to make that stand out even more. But I think like the whites and stuff are a little too bright, so let's bring the highlights down. Let's go about right there. But also everything's just a little too shadowy, just a little too dark, so we'll bring up the shadows a little bit, bring back a little bit of that detail. Go about right there, and then actually brighten up the whites just a little more, make them pop, so nothing too much, right? Like just 13. Blacks we're just gonna leave alone. I actually like how just like dark everything looks right there. But I also like to pump up like clarity a bit in my pictures. It just adds a lot of just like texture, and even makes it a little more contrasty, I think. So let's bring clarity up. Go right there, so you can just see like with the clarity you can get a lot more like the texture out of the car, out of the hills, and even down here on the ground. It just kind of makes it just pop a little bit more. But even though the ground's like a little bright, we're gonna be darkening with the selective tools. And let's bring, kind of want the brownish to pop out of the car a little more, because this car is colored a little bit like a brown gray. Let's bring like the vibrance up to, yeah, we'll go there. Now let's scroll down, let's go to the next settings, and I don't think I'm going to change any of like the hues or the luminances of it, anything. I kind of like how the exposure is, but you can kind of see on the picture it's kind of purpley, it's blue and all this stuff, and I don't want like any of those in the photos. Also the greens too, so we're actually going to just like drop down the purples and magentas. That already kind of gets rid of all the purple out of the sky and the snow. And then blues, we're going to drop it down to like, we don't want to make it too much because then it just makes it look like black and white photo, so we're going to bring it to like right about there. And then aquas, I take those out. That just comes out of the windshield. That's really the only thing that has aquas in it. And greens, just in case that there's a little bit of a tint. I kind of want more of like, I don't want either magenta or green tint on the photo. I want it to be very just like, you know, just intense, and I don't know, just kind of more, I don't want to say a flat profile, but just something that isn't too saturated in one color or another. I still want there to still be yellows and reds and stuff, because you can see them in the road here on the line. And like I said, the car itself is kind of a brownish gray, and so I want to make sure that those colors are preserved, especially in the taillights too. So that's all the color changing we're going to do. We're not going to touch any of the color wheels. I do reduce the noise a little bit just because you can kind of see there's a little bit of a grain in the photo and the little detail thing, so I just like to take that out, smooths the car out a little bit. And yeah, I kind of like how that looks. Let's pull up the selective tools and let's get some linear gradients on here. So I pulled from the bottom. I like to pull it up just right to the wheels of the car, and then I usually drop them about 0.3 for my linear gradients. Drop that there. Now let's select subject so we can work on this Mustang itself. You can kind of see it overshot a little bit, pick the shadows too. So we'll click subtract and brush. Let's pull all those shadows out from being edited. Make sure it didn't select anything else, because sometimes they'll like select stuff around the car too. It's not even close to it. And let's edit this. So I kind of want to bring the exposure up on the car just a little bit more. And then let's make it a little more contrasty, just to kind of show off the lines of the car a little bit more. And now you can't really see much in the shadow, so let's bring the shadows up about, let's go about right there. You can already see the car standing out so much more. And yeah, I think that's all the changes we're gonna do to the car. Kind of see this whole before, after, just like huge pop, huge change. But now there's all these like little tiny things that we want to take out of here that I don't like. So let's go photo, edit in, and let's pull up Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so in Photoshop, let's just pull out all just the little things we don't like. Like I don't like this orangey light that's down here. It's a little distracting. This guy, whatever this thing is distracting. I kind of want to pull out these power poles. The way I pick what to pull out of a photo is if I look at the photo and it distracts my eye from anything, like if anything catches my eye, I pull it out, because if it catches my eye, it's going to catch somebody else's eye, and it's going to just take them away from the subject of the photo. So, what else would there be? I'm just like looking over every little thing and just seeing what catches my eye, and if I want to pull it out or not. Let's see, this little specks of dirt on the car. Let's see those. We got that little thing. Let's make the wheel well all dark. And we got this little piece of dirt right there on the side of the runway. Make the road a little more even. Says nothing's fine. And yeah, that actually is finished photo. Super easy. It actually wasn't very hard to edit at all. Not very intense like editing process on this one. So let's just click save, send it back over to Lightroom. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the whole process on editing a photo, just making sure the exposure's right, dropping the colors down, and just only picking the colors that you want to have in there. And then yeah, just making that subject pop a little bit, and that's it. Like that color grading wasn't hard at all. And I really hope like just the little things sometimes in these photos really helps out, and this has turned into one of my favorite photos ever. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found some value in this editing tutorial. Maybe I'll include a raw photo down in the description so you can also edit this photo along with me. Oh, not this one specifically, but one just like it. I'll put it there so then you can have fun playing around with them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you just taking the time editing with me. It was so nice having you back again, and I'll see you in the next video. Why can't we face it? Keep on